Well, Israel's military is telling 1 million people in northern Gaza to evacuate by tomorrow, while its warplanes continue to attack targets from the air. In response, Hamas has called on citizens to, quote, stand firm in the face of this disgusting psychological war. So we have been told that there is simply no way out of Gaza as the one border crossing to Egypt is blocked. Imtiaz Tyab is in Jerusalem with more on all of this. Imtiaz, good morning.
Hey, Anne-Marie, good morning and good to be with you. Well, Palestinians from northern Gaza are now on the move after Israel ordered them to evacuate their homes to the southern end of the bombed-out territory. An exodus that almost seems biblical. Think of it, a population equal to that of Rhode Island being told to move in just 24 hours.
Evacuate or else. Northern Gaza is being pounded relentlessly by Israeli strikes, reducing entire neighborhoods to rubble. Every morning, we wake up to killings and death, this resident says. We don't know where to go. We don't know where's safe. The northern tip is the most densely populated part of the Palestinian territory, home to over 1 million people. The UN has described the mass evacuation warning as impossible, saying it would have devastating consequences on civilians. Overnight, Israel says it struck 750 Hamas targets, including tunnels, military compounds, and weapons stores. In the light of day, unending scenes of chaos and carnage as the dead and wounded litter the streets. Hospitals are now at breaking point, overwhelmed by the sheer number of casualties. Exhausted doctors are being forced to make agonizing decisions.
You have to choose between the patients, which one will survive more.
Making matters worse, Israel has cut off all supplies, including food, water, and fuel. In just 6 days, at least 1,500 Palestinians have been killed, including over 500 children. Do not be afraid, Dad, this boy says. Be strong. But for so many Gazans this morning, strength will not be enough.
Now, despite everything, there are many Palestinians who are still refusing to leave their houses. That's because a large number of people in Gaza are descendants of those who were expelled from their homes during the creation of Israel. They say they've had to abandon their homes once and that they won't again, no matter what. Anne-Marie.
You know, that last little bit that you just said there just reinforces why this is so complicated. You know, there's such history and nuance and what seems like an obvious decision. You know, leave is not that obvious. We are talking about, and as I understand it, this announcement to evacuate it within 24 hours came out at midnight, right? So we're already past probably that half of that 24 hours. This is an area where there's no electricity. So moving around at night, I imagine, is not very easy. We have hospitals overfilled, overflowing. People have gone to hospitals because they thought they were safe, and there's already not enough room for patients. How do you evacuate those hospitals? We know that the crossing into Egypt has been bombed several times, plus Egypt does not seem interested in accepting refugees from Gaza. What are the options that are available to these people?
I mean, Anne-Marie, you say it all in the sense that it's so complicated. There are so many layers. There are so many calculations that anybody inside Gaza right now is trying to make. As you rightly point out, they're given that warning at midnight. And the Gaza Strip has no power. It is pitch dark in the middle of the night and they are being bombarded. And so really it's only daytime hours where they have to decide if they're going to make that trip to the south of the Gaza Strip. Now, Gaza may not be very big, but it's not as if people could just jump into cars, jump into buses, and make their way there. Remember, so much of the Gaza Strip has just been reduced to rubble. This is an agonizingly difficult thing, and as we've been saying, for so many people, the idea of leaving their homes is just as painful. And, you know, you mentioned Egypt, and there's another layer of complexity here. You know, the reason Egypt will not allow Palestinians from Gaza to cross over the border in any large number is because Egypt is looking at history. It's saying, listen, we've seen Palestinians expelled from their homes in the past, which is why Gaza is the way it is, which is why the West Bank is the way it is, which is why you have huge Palestinian refugee communities in Lebanon and Syria and Jordan. And they're saying, we don't want that here. We don't. We don't want Palestinians in Gaza to cross over into Egypt and then Israel deciding that they're not allowed to come back. And then we'll have a large refugee community inside Egypt that Egypt says they just don't want. It may sound cynical rather, but it is a reflection or an echo of the very painful history that is so reflective of so many Palestinians' personal experience. Emery.
And then you have Hamas saying, don't go. This is psychological warfare. Is Hamas suggesting that what we can all see, which is a ground invasion is coming, is Hamas suggesting that that's not happening, that Israel is playing games with the people of Gaza?
I think Hamas wants to call Israel's bluff. I think it wants to say, no, we're not going to believe you when you say you're just going to flatten northern Gaza. And remember, Emery, I've been to Gaza many, many times. The north is the most densely populated part of Gaza. You know, when we talk about Palestinian refugees from 1948, when the creation of Israel in 1967, the Six-Day War, which saw so many people displaced from their homes in what is now modern-day Israel, many of them settled in the north because, of course, they had just to flee their homes. Some of their homes, at least historically, just a few miles away from where Gaza is now. And so I think really what Hamas is trying to do is to call Israel's bluff. And more importantly, as we've been saying, Israel wants to start this land invasion, this ground invasion. And it gets very, very tricky if they're trying to put a bunch of Israeli soldiers inside of densely populated urban areas that are full of people. It's a heck of a lot easier if all those people are gone. And so as I've been saying, I think for Hamas to tell people to stay behind, even though they're being bombed, even though they have no water, no fuel, no electricity, it's because they know Israel will think long and hard about sending in troops to a very densely populated area.